So tell me, are you a chicken shit?
Chicken?
For real now, do you get afraid of taking chances and then just doing something because you saw something online, someone had a bad experience, or maybe, you know, even just buying things? You know, everyone these days is obsessed with getting reviews or reading reviews of things. Now, there's nothing wrong with that per se, but let me tell you something. I've worked in lots of sales and marketing and for many different companies. And if you were to go just by online reviews of products or online reviews of companies, you would think that every company is a disaster, because most people who have good experiences with companies don't go out of their way to comment or leave reviews about said company or product. It's usually only the people that had a bad experience that go out of their way to bitch, whine, and complain online about that product or company. So you've got to take that to heart. For example, I worked in wireless for years, and one of the wireless carriers. Ooh, this truck in front of me has very squeaky brakes. One of the companies I worked with has a customer satisfaction rate of around 90%. All right, now that's internal surveys and questions with customers, like when they actually ask the customer to fill out forms or fill out surveys about their experience with the company. So very, very positive. But if you went to their Facebook page, you would think nobody likes this company and they're the most evil corporation on the planet, because everyone on the Facebook page is just ranting and raving about all their problems and issues with the company. So I never take this stuff to heart when I read about products. In fact, I pretty much never go to reviews on something when I'm going to buy it. I just make my own informed decision. Literally, I'll check out things like YouTube videos on the product I'm going to buy or something like that. But let's dive a little deeper from that. When it comes to something like, say, well, getting rid of your apartment and joining the van life, there are so many people watching this channel right now, I guarantee you, that are sitting around and watching us because they can't make the decisions for themselves and they can't just do it. They can't make changes. They're afraid. And so they want to see how we all do it, even though, I mean, like I've always said, it's no different than moving into a different apartment or different house. You buy a van, it's got a bed, it's got a kitchen. It's just like a little mini apartment. There's really nothing to it. Some of your routines change, but other than that, it's nothing to be afraid of. But anyways, there are so many people that get so afraid because they see some van lifers have some problems or issues. And, you know, this is one thing I don't do on my channel. I don't make it a channel about every little problem, every little issue, because problems and issues are just part of life no matter what you live in, whether it's an RV or whether it's a house. Everyone's got problems. And I think that the generally overall, van life problems are a lot less so than house problems. But there are people that will watch thousands of videos of van lifers, and then they'll see a video of one guy or one girl that has a problem, like a flat tire or their van got broken into or something, and it completely changes their opinions, and now they're afraid. They're deathly afraid of ever buying a van and doing it because they saw somebody had a bad experience. And that's really sad. Like, if you're that afraid of life in general, how do you do anything? Like, you might as well just lock yourself in your basement for the rest of your life, because life is going to throw stuff at you no matter what. Now, I haven't had that many problems, but I mean, I've had my share. Like, you know, I've had occasional breakdowns. I've run out of water. I've run out of propane in the middle of the night. I mean, to me though, that's just life. So what? First world problems, right? I mean, there are places on this planet where people have to walk all day just to get drinking water. So I'm really not going to bitch and complain about running out of water and having to drive to a gas station and hook up my hose. Like, come on, that's not a problem. But there are people watching this, and I know because I see them comment on some of my videos and on other people's videos about how they couldn't handle these issues. Like, for example, I did that video a while ago about that guy, that rabid fan of mine that came and pounded on my door at 1:30 in the morning wanting to talk and get a t-shirt and all this, and I was annoyed by it, rightfully so. But one of the people commenting on my video actually said, well, you know, I was interested in van life, but now that I've seen this video, I don't think I could handle it because of that. Because of that. Okay, first of all, this person can't take anything in perspective. It's almost as if he thinks that that sort of thing happens every day. I've been doing this for 17 years, and that's the first time anyone's pounded on my door at 1:30 in the morning, you know, trying to get a t-shirt and shake my hand. Like, the reason I made a video out of it is because it's something that's so rare, it never happens, and that's why it was video worthy, right? But there are people on YouTube and Instagram and Facebook in van life groups that tell stories about how they've been broken into in the middle of the night when they're in their vans, and it still doesn't deter them from van life. You know, it's water under the bridge. Like, you know, like they say, shit happens. I mean, are you that worried about it? Vehicles get broken into all the time. It has nothing to do with van life. Your car might get broken into. You know, if you're in your van and you get broken into, it's actually better because you're there. You can scare them off. As soon as they see someone's in the van, they're gonna take off. But if your car is outside your house and gets broken into while you're sleeping in the house, well, you're likely gonna lose anything that was in your car, or you're gonna lose your car because it's gonna get stolen. So again, take things in perspective. It's actually worse if you're not living in the vehicle. But there are stories out there of things like that happen all the time. But I think most people can take it in perspective and go, this is the exception, not the rule, when things like that happen. So if you're that afraid of joining van life because I posted a video about some guy knocking on my door at 1:30 in the morning asking for a t-shirt, there's something wrong there. You are so sheltered, like you have to be in your safe space and you can't get out of your bubble, your comfort zone. No wonder you can't jump out of your apartment and get into a van and change your whole life if you're that afraid of something so small as that, or the occasional annoyances of running out of water or having to look for a parking spot at night. Like, these things are nothing. But what just blows my mind is how people are so influenced by other people, but they can't think for themselves. I guess that's the best way to put it. It all comes back to that whole like online reviews thing. If you were to have like online reviews of van life, there's going to be some people that didn't like van life, or they're going to talk about their problems with van life. And then the people sitting here watching this who have a hard time changing anything in their life or making adjustments, they're going to focus on the negatives. And they're going to ignore everything else. They're just going to dwell on the bad possibilities, the what ifs. The what ifs run their life. Like, honestly, I can never live a life like that. Worried about what ifs all the time? Man, like, it wouldn't matter. Like, right now, what if I got into an accident? Well, you know what? That's life. I mean, I could get in an accident whether I lived in this van or not. It could happen. So if I was that worried about what ifs, then why would I even leave my house if I lived in a house? I might as well just sit there and you know, I wouldn't even turn on my stove and cook dinner because what if I burnt my house down? Like, why worry about things? Life's too short for that, guys. Get out and live a little, change. You're sitting there. If you've been thinking about van life and watching these channels and websites and all these people that are doing this, if you've been watching this stuff and saying to yourself, I'm going to do that one day, and you've been doing this for like 6 months or a year, and you still haven't done it yet, you're one of those people. What's holding you back? Seriously. Are you really worried about these non-problems that you make out to be bigger deals than they really are? I'm not ragging on you. I love you all. Trust me, I do. But there's so many people, not just in this circumstance, who would like to live in an RV, but even just people living in their apartments who want to do something as simple as rearrange their furniture, or, you know, maybe quit their job and take up a new career. A lot of people, they're afraid to make a change. They're comfortable because they know where they are. They're so-called safe. Well, guess what? You could change your life. You could buy a boat and move onto a boat, and you'll be just as safe as you are now. You're just going to adjust to new things. It's just going to be different. That's all. But I mean, if you're going to hold back and not buy that boat because you're worried about it sinking or something like that, you're not living. You're gonna sit there, watch other people on YouTube doing things that you wish you could do, and then you're gonna be 90 years old, you're gonna shrivel up, you're gonna be in an old folks home, and you're gonna wonder why you didn't do anything with your life or change anything or have a little sense of adventure. Stop worrying about things. Stop worrying about what ifs. If you live your life according to the what ifs, you're not living at all, and you're gonna miss out on everything. If you've been thinking about doing this, like I said, for over a year now, let's just say that, a year, and you still haven't done it, you haven't put money aside for the van, you haven't started selling all the crap you don't need in your house, getting ready to change, to do something you want to do. If you haven't done any of that yet, you're just sitting here watching us, looking for reasons not to do it, then you need to kind of shake your head, give yourself a reality check, and ask yourself, what the hell am I doing? What's holding me back? If you want to do something, just do it. Stop looking for all the possible negatives. There are just as many possible negatives with the way you're living right now. So just do what you want to do and quit worrying about it. Do it. You wouldn't believe how many people watching me now started watching me 5 years ago, and now they're living in their vans, and they're always messaging me and leaving comments telling me, thank you, Justin. I made the leap. I just did it, and I've never been happier. Now, that might not be the case with you. Maybe you won't like it, but you know what? That's okay. You can sell your van and go back to your sheltered, safe space in your apartment and watch people on YouTube again, if it's not for you. But you'll never know unless you try it. So just do it. I love you all. Keep on rocking in the free world.
Keep on rocking in the free world.